What is going on, boys and girls of YouTube? So I'm at the beach, as you can see, but they dropped a big secondary announcement today. So I wanted to cover it while I'm at the beach. So that's some free time because Sammy's getting ready. It's going to take forever. So yeah, I did set it up so you guys could see the beach and be jealous. All right, it is what it is. So I'm looking at it too. I've read through it. I've even gone back and looked at the other stuff. So if you saw the announcement today, basically there's a patch notes yesterday. If you didn't see it, it sucked. Everyone hated it. With the feedback everyone was giving was Revert 9.5, which was a patch from basically 2 years ago, I think a little over 2 years ago. And in that patch, they went through and they made everyone tankier. I think they made everyone like 30% tankier and then 8% per level tankier because you were going up in HP and in defense for everybody in the whole game. The thing is, with that, there's a bunch of other changes that went through between different gods. Items got nerfed and buffed and power got adjusted. So it's going to take them time. They're going to have to go through and tweak a lot. And I don't think they're going to hit right away. So they said they're aiming for Tuesday, which would be with the patch, which would blow my mind. If they do it, that's crazy because I think there's only 2 or 3 of them working on it. But they're going to have to continually just go through and adjust things. So I don't expect it to be like perfect, but it's going to be exciting because we're going back to a time where you can now die in lane. Ganks and kills will be way easier, especially at first before they tweak everything. There's gonna be a lot of deaths in the game, just like a lot. They even say in their release today, they were addressing your concerns, is what they said. They can't go back to 9.4, which will be right before that 9.5 patch, because of all the gods and all the changes. So they don't plan to literally revert the game. What they do plan on doing is hitting 2 things: god tankiness, which was where they increase HP and defenses. So their goal is to decrease base HP, decrease HP per level, decrease base physical and magical protections, decrease physical and magical protection per level. So what this will do, realistically, will make mages, assassins, hunters a lot squishier. The thing that I'm wondering about, because they don't actually mention this, is are they going to adjust with based on all the changes that we have to items already? So items powers got super, like our items are super low power now, like very, very low compared to where they were. Are they going to adjust because of that? Are we going to have tanks coming down in base tankiness? Because that will be like a whole new thing potentially. But the biggest deal that we know is coming: assassins, hunters, mages are going to die more. You're going to have to either be safer, you're going to have to be better, quicker, whatever it may be. The one thing that I remember from pre-9.5, so after 9.5, I actually started to hate the game. Like that 6-month period, I really didn't want to play the game. I don't know if it was just attributed to the patch, but you know, coincidence or not, I don't know. The one thing I remember is pre that patch, basically you could one-shot combo people a lot earlier in the game. And then when they changed it, it took like 2 rotations of abilities, 3 rotations of abilities. I will say it does seem item-wise that things have changed a little bit. You still can get one-shot nowadays. I mean, it's been 2 years of changes. So I don't know that we're going to go back to this perfect version of Smite that a lot of people have said. I'm fine with the change of going back to 9.5 because it's exciting and I want something new and exciting to happen. But, I mean, realistically, we don't know how this is going to impact the game. It'll just be exciting. And we'll see what happens. I mean, they also mentioned they're going to hit minions and they're going to hit their health and damage. That's minions in lane and jungle camps and jungle bosses. In that 9.5 patch, some jungle camps had their health reduced, had their defenses reduced, some had their health increased, some had their damage increased. I'm really not sure exactly what they're hit. It says also towers and phoenixes. So towers and phoenixes were buffed in 9.5. Are they gonna nerf them? Like, there's so much in the air, like up in the air for me here that I'm excited because it's way more exciting than that patch we had. So I'm in no way knocking this. I'm glad they're trying something. I'm just not gonna sit here and tell you everything's gonna be perfect right away. I think they're gonna try to do some secondary balancing beyond just what, you know, a revert. It's not gonna be that simple. I'm excited for it. If you have the time, what you can do is go back to like April of 2022 and look at some matches, see how the game looks on the gods you like playing. You could go read the patch notes or skim through them. The patch notes for 9.5 are pretty, like I'll have Daedra scroll them, but they're lengthy. The key thing is what I said, where they literally mention that everyone is now 30% plus 8% per level tankier. So realistically, you're really, really, really tanky in current Smite compared to what you were. And that's for every god. That's not just squishy gods. It's just squishy gods feel it more because tanks are going to build defense and kind of make up for that. If I remember correctly, pre 9.5, there were hybrid junglers a little bit. Hybrid junglers felt really good. So you might see hybrid come back and be strong, but it'll be a hybrid that does damage. You'll still have damage dealers pumping. You'll have one-shots. It'll just be in a whole new Smite in my mind if they do this right. So I wanted to come in, make the video, tell you guys what was up. Because I'm sure a lot of people are confused. I saw tons of questions. What was pre 9.5? There was a lot that went into it. And we're not getting pre 9.5. We think we want pre 9.5. So they're going to do their best to give us the new version of whatever that may be. I'm excited for it. I mean, their message today wasn't like a patch notes. It was just like a lot of bullet points on them hitting on things. It says their timing, like I said, is with the 11.6 release, which will be Tuesday the 11th, June 11th. If they have something out by then, I will be shocked. To be dope, but I would be shocked. They say expect imbalances. Makes sense because they're trying to create like a whole new Smite in my mind. Like this is just fully a whole new Smite. It says how this also impacts Smite 2, which is interesting. I didn't even think they were like considering the two or like they were intertwined in any way for them. They said Smite 2 is a different game, but we are working to incorporate this community sentiment into how Smite 2 feels as well. Smite 2 had a lot of complaints. When this patch for Smite 1 was announced yesterday, everyone had a ton more complaints because it just wasn't adding up. The timeline from Smite 2, the lack of changes for Smite 1. So basically everyone was like, hey, make Smite 1 exciting. We don't really care how you do it right now because there's no competitive scene. So just go crazy if you overdo it, change it in the next patch. Just try some stuff. And we didn't get that yesterday. So today they're like, hey, we're going to do that. But also, we're going to do it in Smite 2. They said not all the feedback may be seen in the next alpha test. So all the feedback they've gotten, all the feedback about Smite 1. They're saying this next alpha isn't going to have it, but it is being implemented. They're essentially, it says they're working towards improving the pacing of time to kill, which does feel kind of weird in Smite 2. I know a lot of you haven't had good matchmaking to get a real feel for it, but it doesn't feel right. It feels off. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, it just doesn't feel good. I've played in games where we stack like Masters players, Diamond players, whatever. When you're in a sweaty game, it just something feels off about it, and it might just be as simple as a time to kill. I don't know. That's on high res to try to figure out, and I'll give them feedback. They said stay tuned to Smite 2 for a deep dive on our plans. So I guess they're taking all this feedback and they're going pretty hard with it. I mean, yesterday was a crazy, crazy day for Smite 1, honestly. I know during the patch notes, I got a hold of them a little early, so that's why the video is a paper patch notes, which if you guys like that, let me know because I'll do those more often. But during them, while they were going through their video, I had finished the paper patch notes. I pretty much said, like, this makes it look like you're ending Smite. It went kind of crazy. I mean, for Smite, that tweet has like 80,000 impressions, which is a lot for a pretty basic Smite 1 tweet. And then my follow-up tweet was like diving a little deeper and explaining that with Smite 2's timeline and the lack of changes to Smite 1, we still have some time in Smite 1 before Smite 2 is something everyone's gonna be playing. Basically saying like they're kind of ending Smite 1 early, and it's pretty apparent by the numbers and everything else, so I'm not happy. I'm disappointed. That also got like 50K impressions, which really is not a lot, but a lot for Smite Twitter. A lot of other streamers shared my opinion, which is pretty, I'm not going to say uncommon. Usually it's kind of 50-50. People see both sides. This one, it seemed like everybody felt the same. Inbound, I think Fine OK, Nika, everybody. I think someone told me like they went to every streamer's reaction and it was all the same, which shows something is wrong. Like sometimes I go a little overboard with things, but it shows something is going on. But on top of that, which I just have to throw in this video, the CEO of Hi-Rez is Stuart Chisholm, I think. He wrote a massive, I mean, I'll just show you, like I'm looking at this on my phone. So like this is his tweet, which it talks about the industry and how they're dealing with Smite 1 and Smite 2, but also they have competition who are, his words, very blatantly targeting our content creators and pros for competitive gaming. For a competitive game, sorry, they are making. It's an NDA game. I am playing it. I was not targeted. Some content creators, like mid and small size, were invited to a group chat with a content creator from Dota who was getting them in the game through like an invite system. So I guess someone told Stu that, and like as a CEO, like I get it, but he also goes on to talk about how they're making a competitive game while having high-res's information, basically. He doesn't name the names, but it's been leaked that there is a game coming out from Valve called Deadlock. So we can all assume that's what he's talking about because Valve is Steam. Steam sells Smite, can see all their numbers, and he's upset and saying how hard it is already, let alone with this company coming in, taking creators. There's tons of leaks, not from me. But I just thought this was crazy timing because I think it shows us how critical them hitting with Smite 2 is. Like, the company could go under really easily if they mess up. So our feedback is valuable, and they're actually trying to implement it and implement it fast. While, you know, a lot of time people want to say no one cares about our feedback, they don't listen to us. That's pretty obvious they are, because that's a crazy change to do overnight. Like this going from, hey, your patch was trash to, hey, we're going to do this crazier thing, which could have been a whole patch by itself. They could have just said, we're reverting it like they did today with nothing else from yesterday, and we all would have been like, let's go. Let's try. Like, I can't wait to try this, which is good. Like, this is overall good that they are listening. They are making the changes. But I think now we realize how big a deal and what situation. Oh, that's funny. There was another tweet. Stu tweeted he was misinformed. He won't delete the post because it has its own transparency stuff, but basically acknowledges that people weren't being poached by the company. It was some random creator just getting Smite people into it. Shout outs to him to getting other people to play the game. This game is, I don't even know when we're going to get a beta or an alpha or anything. But like I said, there are leaks out there that you guys can go look up. That is possible. Just realize that. So yeah, I mean, everyone's pretty excited for 9.5. And my goal is to relearn everything, because relearn and teach you guys everything. I also want to start running money matches for a competitive scene. Like, not really like what Call of Duty does, where it's like $10 a person matches, and see how that does within the community, because I think we need something competitive going on, and I don't think we're getting anything on Smite 1 anytime soon. But yeah, if you want to see anything, the links to their information is below. I'm sure Daedra edits this, so stuff is flowing all over the place. I'm at the beach for the night. I will be back streaming soon, and hopefully you guys like the video.